Welcome to the Art of Classiness Podcast, a show where we redefine what it means to be a classy lady. And sometimes it's messy. I'm Robin.
And I'm Deborah, two friends turned classy ladies who are here to discuss life's ups and downs, navigating the complexities of adulthood, and how the gift of friendship is essential to belonging.
Today we're talking about jealousy and friendship, not as a shameful thing, but as a mirror, a reflection of our own desires, fears, and insecurities. We'll break down the different types of jealous friends, why they act that way, and how to handle both being on the receiving end and catching yourself in those moments.
Think of it less like a scarlet letter and more like a compass. Jealousy is telling you something. We're just here to decode the message.
So follow along, give us your feedback, and don't forget to like and subscribe. What's up, classy ladies and gentlemen? Deborah, let's check in. How are you?
Not great.
Oh, no.
Good, not great.
Oh, no.
That's okay. I'm fighting a little head cold, so if I sound a little gross and snarly today.
Snarly.
Yeah, that's why. I think just the back-to-school germs have made their way into our household, and, the kids seem fine, but just the gross, sore throat, sneezing all over the place. Like, I go from runny nose to being congested, and I decided to pop in some Dayquil. It helps with the symptoms, but it really makes me feel so maddening all day.
Yeah, that happens to Seth. He gets kind of wired.
Yeah. And I'm like, my body is tired, but my mind is raging. And I don't like this feel. I have to decide, what do I want to feel? Less congestion, but being insane at the same time, or more congestion and not insane. So I chose the Dayquil route right now just so that we can get through this show. And then I got nothing on the docket this weekend, and I am very much going to take advantage of the empty house and lack of things to do.
Take that NyQuil and go to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, I got that nighttime routine ready. I got supplements at the ready. I got my sleepy time tea. I got the Theraflu. We're going hard tonight. 12 hours of sleep, baby. How are you today, Robin?
So last week, I told you about my little pending adventure to the salon to get my eyebrows laminated.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to tell you how it went.
Let's hear it.
It was an interesting experience. I actually didn't fully understand what it meant to get your eyebrows laminated, as I said before.
Yeah.
They're just straightening the hairs in your eyebrows that have a curl to them.
Oh.
And had I known that, I don't know that I would have spent the money that I did on it. But I'm glad I tried it.
Mm-hmm.
However, the product that they used, which is some kind of perming chemical, it made my face break.
Oh, no.
My skin got so dry.
Oh.
It was just for a couple days, though, and then it was fine. But actually, that night, both of my eyes got really swollen.
Oh, no. Robin, see, these are the things I feared for you. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Now, I will say, they look incredible.
Thank you.
They look great. Beauty is pain, okay?
Indeed.
But this was my fear.
Seth was concerned. He saw my face. He was like, whoa, one eye was way more swollen than the other two.
Oh.
The eyelid, But it did end up looking really nice.
Okay. It does, and everything looks calmed down now.
Yeah.
You're back to it.
I can't say I would do it again, though. It's not worth it to me, personally.
Yeah. I didn't know that your eyebrows could curl. I mean, I've seen men's bushy eyebrows. That would be kind of hilarious to see those straightened out and just Mach 5 brows on someone's face. But interesting. I didn't know that was a process.
Yeah. And she, the part of your brow that's closest to your nose bridge, she was like, do you want to do it a feather where we push it up? And I was like, sure, that looks cute. So she was training it. But now it's not doing that. So I'm really not seeing the value.
Oh.
Personally, maybe it's my fault and I don't have the right products and it's me. I'm doing it wrong. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But all things considered, it's not something that's going to be maintained in my
beauty regimen.
My beauty regimen, yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, now you know.
Now I know, and now everybody else knows. And actually, if somebody here is listening and you know more about this, let me know. Tell me.
Tell us what we're doing wrong with our eyebrows, please. Thank you.
We also went on this beautiful 5-mile hike with some friends, and it was a 2.5-mile hike up. And once we got up there, like the views were so beautiful. I think I sent you a picture, right?
You did. It's so gorgeous. I'm so jealous that that's like so accessible to you, and I'm so happy for you at the same time.
It was just lovely. Yeah, that's us, just chilling.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I am so jealous of your accessibility to the mountains and nature. And when I said that, I was like, oh, that's so funny because that's actually what we're talking about today. We were talking about jealousy and friendships.
You're so right.
I know. And I had to catch myself and I was like, don't be jealous, be happy for her. So I slipped in the second part about being happy for you because I don't want to come off like a jealous friend. So let's get into our classy convo today.
Today, we are talking about, it's a word that usually makes people cringe, and that is jealousy. We tend to treat it like a friendship killer, but it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be something to hide or feel ashamed of. It's a human feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a really useful signal if you know how to read it. Like instead of labeling it toxic, like what if we saw jealousy as a mirror?
Yeah, most definitely. And I think you are right. When people hear the word jealous, you don't ever want to be accused of being jealous. You kind of get defensive, right? Because when you're accusing someone of being jealous, you are almost saying to them, like, I have something you don't have. And that can make people's defenses go up. And that can really, take things from 0 to 60 really quick. So we thought it would be a good idea today to break down the different ways that you might experience jealousy, whether that is you as a person or somebody else in your life kind of giving you that energy, the different types of ways it manifests itself, how you can check it before it gets out of control, and what you can do in order to mitigate your friends having those feelings towards you.
Right. Because the goal is not to get rid of the jealousy. It's to make it work for you and your friendships instead of against them.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, first, why don't we break down 3 different types of jealous personas, if you will, because sometimes it's easier to recognize how it is communicated if you kind of create a whole character around it.
Yeah.
And the first one to me is the coldest kind, and that is the friend who never asks about you.
Yep.
Like when you have something big that happens in your life, whether it's a promotion or you bought a house or maybe you got engaged, and you get crickets from this person.
Yeah.
That is such an unsettling feeling because you want to be able to share the things that you're excited about. You want to share your successes. And when someone meets you with nothing, I just hate that so much.
And even if they do stick around, they deflect or change the subject whenever you're sharing that good news. And the feeling, I've experienced this feeling. It's like you start to get the ick inside. Like, is it bad that I'm excited about this? Is it bad that I'm sharing this news?
Right.
It makes you want to hold back, and you're happy to change the subject too. Like, oh, okay, I guess this isn't exciting.
And it sucks because it unfairly puts the onus on you to check your ego.
Yes.
Right? Like that's how I feel in that moment where it's like, oh my God, like we started this podcast. And then they're like, cool. And then they talk about other podcasts that they listen to and not ask any question about yours. And that is like, oh, maybe I am too big for my britches, or like makes you feel like you're acting too good or above them. And as a codependent person, I immediately try to make myself smaller in that moment to try to accommodate that person's energy. And that is like, it just really sucks the wind out of your sails, you know?
It does. It does. Let's talk about why this happens now. Like, is it insecurity? Is it comparison to their own lives? Or is it a fear of feeling less than?
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've been in these situations where like somebody is celebrating a win and I have those thoughts.
Yeah.
But I don't I do my best not to let it show because it's not about them and their success. It's about me feeling like I'm not where I want to be.
Yes, and I have been this person. Now, I will tell you, I've never been this person to a close friend, but I have been that person that is mums the word when good news shows up in someone else's life. Like earlier in my career, I was dying to get out of a certain company that I was working for. And I had a coworker that I didn't feel like was as good as an employee as I was. I thought I was better than this person. And that person got a job at Google. And I was incensed about it. I'm like, are you kidding me? That person is going to Google? Like, I am such a better employee than that person. And they're the one that got that job. And I didn't say a word to them about it in the last week. I just acted like I didn't even know they were leaving. I acted like I didn't, everyone else was like, oh my God, congrats. And I was like, just didn't say anything because I was so incensed. I felt like that person was receiving something that should have been mine. That is a very immature response, an immature feeling, but I think it does kind of explain why, because part of me was like, I don't want to accidentally say something that is going to reveal my hand. Wow, how did you get that? Right? Or what kind of questions did they even, did you know somebody there? I kind of knew I was going to end up saying something shitty.
Yeah.
That was going to come out. So I just chose to say nothing. And I think I can't speak for everyone, but that kind of feels like maybe why other people keep their mouth shut or just don't want to bring it up, because either they're afraid of what they're capable of saying in that moment. There's the adage, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
That's true.
Maybe that's driving it. But for me, I just was more focused on that should have been mine, which again was just a ego speaking,
Yeah. And there are several ways how you can avoid becoming this friend or work colleague. And it can be really simple. You can still hold your cards close to your chest and give them a congratulations or I'm so proud of you. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be over the top. You don't have to throw them a party.
Mm-hmm.
But especially if it's a friend, you still need to show support. You need to let them know that this is a safe space for them to celebrate their wins. Because, what is friendship for if not to be able to do that with your friends?
Yeah, 100%. Or even recognizing the work that it took to get there.
Yes.
I once got a response. I think I'd gotten, it was when I bought my house. And somebody commented on my Instagram post about it, and they said, I know how hard you worked to get this. I'm so proud of you.
Aww.
I was like, that is the nicest way of saying that. You know what I mean? When you can just recognize the work that someone has put into achieving something, that's always just a classy way of phrasing that congratulatory moment.
It is. And it's neutral.
Mm-hmm. You did something and you were receiving it. You don't have to put your own feelings into it. You have worked really hard and that's great that you got it.
Right. And you don't have to fake it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just state the facts.
Yeah. It is your birthday.
Great example. You did it. You made it another year.
You did it. You really did it. Or just look at you. Look at you. I
love, we follow each other on the Apple exercise app.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I follow a couple other people. And I love it when it tells me, Deborah just closed a ring. And I send you the
little emojis. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did it.
I did it. I know. I love the one that says you did it. It's just acknowledging that it happened,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it takes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is one way that jealousy can display itself. Another is kind of the opposite, and that is the friend that asks too many questions. And they're not always phrased in the nicest way.
No, this is your negative Nancy. Their questions are technically curiosity-based, but really they're planting doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to ask yourself, where's the line between concern versus disguised jealousy?
Yeah. And you know what I was thinking? I know we love a good pop culture reference here, but if you have watched Sex and the City, in the final season, Carrie's boyfriend asks her to go to Paris. And there's a number of scenes where all the friends are like asking her questions, but mostly Miranda is asking these too many negative Nancy questions. Like, what are you going to do for work? What if you guys break up? Have you even thought about like asking all of the questions that spark more concern than they do being supportive?
And you're creating doubt in the other person's mind.
Mm-hmm.
You're forcing your own feelings onto them instead of just asking more curiosity-based questions of like, what are your plans? What are you going to do? Do you know where you're going to live?
So I think that scene really does a great job because you have people like Charlotte, who's genuinely excited. You can see it all over her face. Charlotte is a hopeless romantic. So the idea of a man sweeping you off your feet and taking you to Paris is like so romantic to her.
She's such a champion.
Such a champion. But Miranda is, she's a cynic.
She's very critical.
And very critical.
She's a lawyer.
So she wants to make sure all bases are covered. And it's coming out of concern, but it is really, shitting all over Carrie's joy and the excitement that she has in that moment.
She's not being strategic with her approach.
Mm-hmm.
And you're never going to get a good reaction from the other person when you do that.
No. And, it's interesting because it might not even come from a place of jealousy per se, but it might, sometimes there are people who take joy in being like, oh, you just think it's all going to work out? Well, let me tell you, it's probably not going to work out. And here are some seeds I'm going to plant of doubt that will make you realize that this isn't actually the best thing that you thought it was going to be. And that's where it gets really shitty.
Yeah. Like if someone were to ask you, like, are you sure you're ready for this? Like, whatever it is, are you sure you're ready for that kind of mortgage?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you sure you're ready for such a big move? It's not supportive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you said, you're planting that seed of doubt, and that's not what your friend needs from you in that moment.
This is where, again, you want to make sure that you're not becoming this friend. Even if jealousy is not what's driving you, you need to check what you are saying and the intentions, right? Because there is your intent and then there's the impact.
Right.
And you can't always control the impact. And when you have somebody who is, being successful is vulnerable, right? When you have a successful moment and you're sharing that is actually a vulnerability because you are sticking your neck out a little bit. And people don't maybe see it like that because you just kind of equate success and greatness and all the, positive emotions that come from it. But it is vulnerable to share your successes.
Absolutely. Think about social media.
Mm-hmm.
There are strangers you don't even know who are just trying to knock you down a peg every chance they get.
Yeah.
Why? For why?
Because they're not doing it.
Exactly.
Because they're not doing it. And sometimes the price for success is embarrassment. And you got to roll that in. And you're experiencing a lot of these vulnerabilities. And then you finally get to the summit and you want to be able to celebrate that. So even if you have concerns, even if you maybe see a blind spot that your friend didn't consider, maybe timing should be taken into consideration, right? Give them their moment to shine, give them their congrats, give them their flowers. If you have genuine concerns, find another time to bring it up.
Exactly.
It's all about timing and it's all about phrasing. So don't get too critical in your line of interrogation and try to instead reframe those concerns as excitement.
That's a great way to put it because you're allowed to be concerned for the well-being of your friend.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have questions, they need to come from a place of love and they need to be tactful.
Mm-hmm.
What's an example? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you got this house. It seems like there's a lot of work to be done. Do you have plans for that?
Right.
Make the questions open-ended.
Right. Yeah. What is your vision for this house? That's so exciting. You get to do whatever you want with it. What are you going to do? Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Open it up. Open it up.
Yeah. Open it up.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Now, this next one, I have a lot of experience with. And sometimes it's not just a friend who says it, it's your family members.
It usually is.
And that's the must be nice friend.
Must be nice. Oh.
This is the person that they're allergic to joy unless you preface it with suffering.
Ugh, this is the worst, and I don't use this term lightly, but this is the Debbie Downer of the jealousy friends, okay? It's like you show up, you are excited to share, you maybe can finally afford something that you've been working hard for because of the job that you got promoted in, and someone's like, I wish I had that kind of money.
It stings so much. Like, I'd rather be ghosted. I'd rather someone say nothing than to drop such a negative energy in my lap.
Yeah, sometimes in those moments, I want to say, you know what? It is nice.
Yeah.
And I have said that before. Because I have had family members that just love to be a little wet blanket whenever anything good happens to me. And I have gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what? It is nice because I worked really hard for it, actually.
Yeah.
And I didn't give up. So you could probably have this too if you also chose to work hard, but you don't.
Well, and they can't separate your success from their own struggles. They're projecting resentment.
This is the clearest form of projection, in my opinion.
Yes.
When someone does this.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, this is actually not about me. I have nothing to do with this. This is completely about you.
100%. And I've struggled. Like, I think your response is really great, but depending on who says it, like, I really struggle to have a reply. Like, I'll usually, like, if it's through text or something, I'll just stop talking. Just like, okay, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to engage in conversation with you anymore. Or in the future, I'm just not going to share anything with you.
Right. And there are other ways that it kind of conveys itself too. They might not say the phrase must be nice, but they'll say things like, not everybody, gets to work from home. So I can't meet for lunch on this day because some of us have to go into an office, right?
Yeah.
Or some of us have kids that don't sleep. So no, I can't go to your party tonight.
Oh my God. Yes. This is the most common one, I think. And it presents itself in several different ways. I feel like kind of traumatized from it, honestly. I don't have a full-time job right now. Like, this podcast is my job.
Yeah.
And we're working really hard. Like, I do consider this a job. Yeah. But when I'm just meeting someone out and about and they're like, so what do you do? And I'm shy, so I'll just say, well, I actually don't have a job right now. But that even feels icky to me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're like, oh, must be nice.
Like, right. Oh, what's your husband do?
I feel like I can't say the right thing. I need to get better about talking about our podcast, but it's like, I'm really shy. So I'd just rather say I don't have a job and let them think what they want than to say, like, I actually work my ass off.
Yeah.
On this podcast. I don't know why. I struggle with this.
I know. And I think it just points to, like we said before, the insecurity about talking about things that you are proud of, right? Because we should be proud about this podcast. You should say, I'm a podcast host and producer, and you should check it out. You know what I mean? And that is going to make people feel a certain way. It absolutely is, because we are in a position where we are putting ourselves out there. When people expose themselves in the creative field, it makes others uncomfortable because most people would rather die than do public speaking. Truly. More people are afraid of public speaking than they are of dying.
I've said it. My whole entire adulthood is public speaking is my number one fear. How am I running a podcast?
Yeah. So that's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's just a perfect clash of those moments of like you not wanting to share your vulnerability and somebody else seeing your ability to put yourself out there as a reflection of something that they're not able to do. And so that's where you get met with, oh, I wish I could do something like that. Unfortunately, I have to work. Unfortunately, I'm not married to somebody who, you know what I mean? Like, it just brings in some of those uglier insecurities out of people. So I agree. This to me is also the worst type of way to receive jealousy.
I was in a relationship with someone who, this was a huge red flag. Like when I started to think like, oh, maybe we need to break up, because I was afraid to share my wins with him because his first reaction was to feel bad about himself. And he would just turn it around on him and how he's gotten nowhere. And the conversation would lead so far away from me just talking about my thing. And it always made me feel like shit.
Oh.
sometimes he would walk in the door with this negative energy. It like just this cloud.
Yeah.
And it really sucked.
I have a very similar ex that always took joy in knocking me down a peg if I achieved something. Then would come back and love bomb the shit out of me, get flowers, write love notes. But the initial response was always like, well, are you going to like change now that you're making more money? Money changes people, you know. What?
Like you're making $1 million.
Right. Like just, he would, exactly what you're saying. He would take all of my successes and just highlight all of his failures. And then I was coddling him instead of him congratulating me. And it's the worst. Good riddance.
Seriously. Seth is my biggest champion.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so important to have in a friend, in a partner. I can't say that enough.
Mm-hmm.
What are some ways to not be this person?
Well, there is a Southern phrase that people use when they want to say something mean, and that is bless your heart, right? So we need a bless your heart for must be nice, but it's got to be something different, right? And maybe it's as simple as I love that for you, right? Every time you want to say, oh, that must be nice. I wish I could do that. I could never. You can just say, I love that for you.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. We can workshop it.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Love that for you. I think I've said that.
I say it a lot because it's a good way of showing support without having to maybe fawn. Because if you're not feeling it,
don't fake it.
You don't want to fake it. You don't want to go and be like, oh my God, that's amazing. Oh my God, tell me everything. If you're not feeling that, if you are feeling jealous, because let's face it, like, can you imagine if other friends of ours launched a podcast and they got thousands of downloads in the first week and they were getting sponsorship deals right out the gate. And they were like, oh yeah, it was actually like really, we just right away, people started calling us. You and I would definitely feel that sting of like,
that would be tough.
That must be nice, right? Like, oh, well, we've actually been doing this for a year and we're not seeing those kind of numbers, right? So it's so easy to look into the mirror of jealousy when it hits you in those moments. And so I think reframing and maybe relating it to your own life without making it your own shit.
Practice gratitude for your own life.
Right.
What you do have.
Mm-hmm.
And celebrate that without holding conditions on other people. Like their joy doesn't diminish your worth or your accomplishments.
No.
We're all on different paths.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy, right? So by comparing somebody else's success to your lack of success, all you're doing is stealing from the gratitude that you should have for where you have made it so far. So if we were in that position and we had friends that had a platinum, highly downloaded podcast, I think I would say, I'm so happy for you. I know how hard the work is to get to that point. And that is so incredible that you have achieved that.
In addition to that, I would say, what a great opportunity that might be for us to collaborate.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to ride those coattails. I'm going to ride them.
Yeah, cross-promotion. That's one of the benefits of celebrating your friends' successes. It's that true friends want to bring you with.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, get up here with me.
Get on up here. Mm-hmm.
Come on the show. Let's get, like, we have thousands of listeners and followers. Like, I want to put you out there because I love your podcast too. Like, there are so many other ways to go about this. Like, just because someone has done something well and you're not there yet, it doesn't mean you can't get there.
Right. Exactly. Their path was never your path, right? And I think when you are in this bucket of the must be nice interaction, you just have to check yourself in that moment and realize that their path was never your path. Practice gratitude and to wish them well, because I truly believe that that energy will come back to you.
Yeah, exactly. Well put.
So let's talk about how you can handle jealousy with class, whether you are on the receiving end or you are the one dishing it out. Because again, this is a natural human reptilian brain emotion. So we got to figure out, how do we handle it in these moments, no matter how it manifests itself.
Yes. If you're on the receiving end, one thing to look at is deciding if this is a pattern with this friend or a one-off slip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is jealousy inevitable in these kinds of long-term friendships, or is it a red flag if it's continuing to happen over and over again.
Right. And if you have noticed that every single one of your successes has been met with either silence or pushback or, even a one-upper. We didn't even talk about the one-upper friend.
Oh.
The friend that's like, oh, cool. I'm actually getting married too. Oh, that's so I got promoted last week. You know what I mean? Like they're always one-upping your situation. Like you got to really look back and say, when was the last time something good happened to me where they didn't behave this way? And like you said, if they're always feeling insecure about you or other people experiencing success, then that might be a indication that they're not a true friend.
There are enough haters and doubters and naysayers in this world. I don't need my friends to be one of them.
Yes, well said.
And is this level of envy that you're sensing something that you feel like you can work through with said friend? Or is this envy that will eventually corrode your friendship?
Right. And I think when you get to that point where you think it's going to corrode your friendship, you have to really address it head on and even maybe just ask them. Like, I feel like my good news isn't landing well with you. Is everything okay? Or if you're beyond that point, I think it's always good to name how they are making you feel. Like, when I tell you good things are happening to me and you respond this way, I feel icky. I feel less than. I feel smaller when I share my successes with you.
Yeah.
And I just want to check in and see if you've even noticed that you do that.
That's perfect. And that's a tough conversation.
That's tough. That's real tough. It is.
But it's necessary. This is how you weed them out. Especially at this point in our lives. Like, we just don't have space. We don't have the time. I don't want that negative energy around me. Like, I have enough in my own head. Thank you. I don't need you putting words to my thoughts.
Yeah, I have enough bullies in my brain, and I created every one of them. So I don't need a real life human to take that place for me.
Exactly. You got to protect your energy, protect your peace. It's the most important thing.
Okay, well, what if you are the one that is the jealous friend? What if you catch yourself being jealous and even maybe getting to the point where you say something shitty? How can you overcome that?
Well, hopefully you're able to catch yourself. Hopefully you're able to notice it. Like, even if you say it out loud before you think about what you're gonna say. I think my initial feeling might be shame. I would feel bad.
Yeah.
But also, I think you should not feel that shame. Like, jealousy is a human emotion, but try to flip it into admiration.
Yeah, I like that. That's a mindset shift.
And it's kind of what we were talking about earlier, is just like shift the line of questioning. Like, I'm so inspired by what you're doing. How did you make that happen?
That's good.
Because then maybe you can take that advice and put it towards whatever it is that you're doing and find a similar success. Like, you never know.
Yeah, exactly. And that can be an easy practice once you realize that envy is just really wanting what somebody else has. So if somebody else got it, they can show you how to get it too.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you got to let your mind go. Like, wow, I don't think I'll ever be able to buy a house, but Robin bought a house. Like, I could be jealous that she got one before me, or I can learn from her so that I can get that for myself.
You know, it's funny you use that as an example, because a friend of mine, after I bought my house, got moved in, and like we were hanging out, her and her fiance were trying to figure out next steps because they were going to move out of their apartment. And I told her everything that I did to get into the affordable program. And she was like, oh my gosh, I should try that too. And I helped her. I gave her all the pointers I got from my friend who helped me. And she freaking got a house.
Oh, great.
They got a brand new build. And I honestly had forgotten about it. But recently when we were hanging out, she's like, you're the whole reason we live in this neighborhood. And that made me feel really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And she could have been totally shitty about it. She could have been like, I could never do that. I don't know how you did it. Must be nice to get that program. I could never be so lucky. But, she turned it into inspiration, and That's exactly what it's all about. So just reframing it. You got to recognize your ego when it shows up, because your ego is always going to fight to be front and center. It's literally its nature. Sometimes people are conniving and they are willing to do anything to get what they want. And that's a whole different wormhole we could go down. So yeah, I think in the end, the steps you should take if you start to feel like you're being the jealous friend is check your ego, right?
Check it at the door.
Check it at the door. Turn your jealousy into admiration and see that person as potentially inspiration for you to be able to achieve the things that you want in your life.
And separate your feeling of lack of progress from their successes with their progress.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest piece of advice we have for you is to make celebrating others a habit.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even have to be about a win or a success or a promotion. It could be something as small as their birthday. Like you said earlier, hey, it's your birthday.
It's your birthday. It is your birthday.
Just sending, I like to do that. I send some people texts with my little Bitmoji Robin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With flowers, like, happy birthday. There's no reason why you shouldn't spread joy.
A phrase that I like to say is, when you can't help yourself, help somebody else, right? If you are stuck in your own head, if you're caught in your own spiral of, I'm not good enough, I don't get these things, everyone else gets it before me, get out of your head and go help someone else. And that can extend to go celebrate someone else. If you can't be your own cheerleader, start cheering on other people, and you are going to change your mindset. You're going to start being more focused outward. You're going to be celebrating more people, and that joy is going to come back to you because it's going to change the way that you look at success.
And I think it'll spark inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Being a negative Nancy, saying things like must be nice, what good does that do for anyone?
Yeah.
Does that make you feel better, bringing someone else down?
No, and I never understood that. I mean, you aren't just stealing joy from somebody else, you're actually stealing it from yourself too, because you're dipping into a really negative well.
Little emotional vampire.
Yeah. So you're taking on that negative emotion too. So don't be an emotional vampire, celebrate other people's wins, and check your ego.
Okay, moving on to our class act of the week. And Deborah and I have started exclusively seeking class acts out in the wild, social media, in the news. And today, Deborah has a really good one. Football season just started.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it.
So if you don't know by now, I'm a huge Michigan football fan. And there was no greater team than the 2023-2024 Michigan team. 15-0, national championship winning, no asterisks needed Michigan football team. And the quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, went to, first round pick, by the way, to the Minnesota Vikings. His first season, he was injured, I think, not even in the first game. Maybe it was preseason, was injured. Knee injury, was out the entire season. This season, he plays his first game as a starter against the Chicago Bears. And he has a rough first half. I'm not going to go into all the logistics because, quite frankly, I don't really remember and I'm not a football fanatic. But the reason I've always loved J.J. McCarthy is because he is a mindset guy. He famously meditates on the field, touches grass before every game. And the reason that he was such a great captain for the Michigan football team was for his mindset and the way he was able to rally his team. They go into the third quarter, J.J. McCarthy throws a pick six. They're already down, he throws a pick six. And you would think oh my God, all of Minnesota is why is this guy our starting quarterback? And he goes and he puts his team in a huddle and he says to them, is there any other place in the world that you guys would rather be right now? And that rallied the team from all accounts, from the players to the coaches. Everyone realized in this moment, we are actually all living our dream right now. We are playing in the NFL. We are living our dream. Even if we're down right now, we have got to go out there and have fun. And that kid turned it around in the fourth quarter. I think he had 3 touchdowns and he ran one in himself. And they won the game. And I'm not even a Minnesota Vikings fan, but I will always love and watch J.J. McCarthy because his mentality of digging deeper when the cards are down, I think is so incredible and really something that I have had to confront with myself. Like sometimes when things just go from bad to worse, I can really wallow in that and just kind of beget more and more bad things happening. And, my kids now are in sports and they're playing baseball. And, when they don't get a hit, it's really frustrating for them. And I actually told George that story this week. Like, when the cards are down, what are you going to do? Like, that is the sign of a true athlete. That's the sign of success, is not what you do when you're winning, but how you behave when you're losing. And I just thought that was so classy. And I think more people should take on that mentality. When you are down and out, but you're doing something that you love, like where else would you rather be but in that moment? And so I just, that's my class act of the week.
What an inspiration.
What an inspo.
And how well does that apply to our topic today?
Yes, exactly.
Just because the cards are down doesn't mean you can't turn it around.
Yeah.
And that rhymes.
Exactly. It does rhyme.
Great class act. Wow.
There you go.
So good. Okay, now it's our final segment, class or crass. This is where we lay out a scenario and have a debate over whether it is classy or crassy. Are you ready to hear it, Deborah?
I am.
Your friend pays for a group drink/dinner, then immediately whips out their phone at the table and says, "Okay, everyone, just Venmo me right now so it's squared away." On one hand, they're being responsible and avoiding awkward money chases. On the other hand, it can kill the vibe, feel transactional, and make the night about spreadsheets instead of laughs. Is it classy or crassy to take that route?
This is tough because once you leave that situation, you might never see that money again.
That's the thing. I've been in this situation. I've covered the bill. I've told people what they owed me. I will send one text requesting it. And if they don't follow up, I kind of just let it go. And it just is what it is, which sucks. But you got to have, while they're there, while they're thinking about it, while people are getting ready to go, just do it. Just do it then. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I think if you handle it in a real surgical way, then it doesn't have to be a big thing, right? I think you should preface it when you go up, like, hey, I'll just put it on my card. Everyone cool with Venmoing me? Yep, that's cool. And then bust it out right then, send,
Yeah.
And get it over with. And then if the person's going to be a shithead, that's on them, right? If they're going to lollygag, that's on them. I think, and we've talked about this way early in our podcast journey, but I knew somebody who, granted, this is a young person's piece of advice because I don't go to bars anymore. But if I was somebody who was buying multiple rounds at the bar, this person would create teams. It was like him and two other people, if it was a large group. And they would be like, we're only buying each other drinks. So that way, if you're going to have more than 2 rounds, you can be like, I'll buy the first one, you buy the second, you buy the third, right? And you just go in rotation like that.
That's smart.
So that way you're not like, oh, let me buy what do you want? What do you want? You don't feel like that responsibility to provide for everyone. And you just make it clear, we're on a team, we're only buying each other's drinks. And that way we can all try to spend around the same amount of money. And I think that's a pretty strategic approach. So I think anything you do where you can set the boundaries of who's going to pay for what up front is classy. And I think when you don't set those boundaries, then you can start to get into some crass behavior. Like, hey, must be nice to have somebody else buy all your drinks for you all night. I wouldn't mind if you bought me. You might end up saying some passive aggressive shit towards the end of the night or even the next time you go out. So I think if you set those boundaries up front, it can be classy.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything transactional about taking responsibility for your own shit.
Yeah.
Someone paying the tab at dinner, that's just making it easy for everyone.
Yeah.
You're making it easy on the server. It's an easy sign it, close out, we're done kind of situation. Everyone has Venmo or Cash App or Zelle at this point. And I just think we're at a point in society where it's completely appropriate to be upfront about that.
Yeah, I think right now, society makes it so easy to have so many different outlets to pay people. There's just really no excuse anymore, right? You can't even be like, oh, I don't have any cash on me. Like, there's a million different ways to pay somebody back. And I'm almost guilty of doing the opposite. Like, I feel so weird about being icky that I'm like, I'll just buy it. It's fine. And I end up like overspending.
Yeah.
So I would love to have the balls to come up with boundaries. Like, I'm going to pay for this round. Everyone Venmo me $10.
Yeah.
You can have financial boundaries, and that's okay. So
Yeah.
I think busting out the Venmo request, I think it's a classy move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that'll do it for this week. Whether you have been the friend who ghosts someone during a big win, or you've dealt with a must be nice comment, the truth is jealousy doesn't have to break friendships. It can actually teach us something.
And maybe a little mischief too. Because sometimes envy is just pointing us towards what we secretly want.
If today's episode made you think about your own friendships, send this to a friend and start the conversation.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Art of Classiness or email us at artofclassiness@gmail.com to share your stories.
Thanks for listening, and remember, classy is a state of mind.
So mind your classiness. Bye.